So today's video is dealing with customary conversion. Now, customary conversion should not be confused with metric conversion. When we're using metric conversion, which we've mentioned before, that's dealing with kilos, all right? Hecto, King Henry, died Monday drinking chocolate milk. And of course, Ms. Lady Gaga. We're not doing that. That right there is not correct. I'm sorry, it's not incorrect. It's a totally different type of way of converting something. This is customary. It's usually how America, uses conversion. Usually the rest of the nation or countries use metric. So right here we're going to convert 20 gallons to quarts. And what you're going to do is set up a proportion. So first though, you're going to get your conversion chart, and you're going to look for wherever you find your conversion chart where you see the two units that you're working with. And what we're working here with is quarts and gallons. So right here, oh, there it is, quarts and gallons. Let me highlight it to make it easier on the eyes. So we're working with that part right there. Now, this right here is going to be your first fraction in your proportion. You're going to be using 1 over 4. But when you're using your conversions, please label. It helps keep track of where your numbers should belong. What I mean is put G for gallons. If you want to put the whole entire word, that's up to you. But I'm fine with just G. That lets me know that you're talking about gallons here. And right here you got quarts. Let's put QT for quart. And there's my first fraction. And what you're going to do next is use what you're given, 20 gallons. So we're talking about 20 gallons. Since it's talking about gallons, excuse me, you're going to put it on top with the other gallons. It's a numerator here, gallons. Same thing for this other numerator. Whatever is left blank is, of course, going to be your unknown, what you're looking for. What's going to give you this answer? And you already know how we solve proportions. First step, BAT. Remember, make sure your BAT only has numbers. That's the right way. This is the wrong way. All right? Because that has a letter in there. And the other number, of course, is going to be your ball. 1. Just make it a different color so it can pop out. And you're going to divide by that number 1. And you're going to multiply what's inside here, 4 and 20. So let's multiply first. 4 times 20. So when you multiply 4 times 0, you get 0. 4 times 2, you get 8. So we end up with 80. What do you do with 80? You divide it by 1. You can probably do this mentally, but I'm going to show you all the steps because that's just what I do. I'm a teacher. And there's my answer, 80. So 20 gallons equals 80 quarts. Let's try another one. Okay, so we got right here feet and inches. It's still dealing with customary, but customary does not just deal with weight, it also deals with distance. So this one right here is dealing with distance, feet and inches. We're going to follow the same steps. So you go to your conversion chart and you look for where you find what you're working with. In this case, feet and inches. Let me highlight where I see that. My computer's stalling. There we go. Happens sometimes. So we're dealing with feet and inches, which is right here in this conversion. That's going to be your first fraction in your proportion. So right here is going to be 1 over 12. But just like before, you need to label. Just like I label here G and quarts and gallons, you need to do the same thing over here with all proportions, whether it's customary or whether it's a regular word problem. So right here, 1 talks about feet. So I'm going to put FT for feet. I'm sorry, yeah, 1 foot. There you go. 12 right here is talking about inches. So I'm going to put IN for inches. And I'm given 4 feet. It's 4 feet, so that belongs also on top with the other feet. If it's in the numerator in the other fraction, it's got to be in the numerator for this fraction. And of course, our unknown belongs right there. What you're going to do first is you're going to multiply what's inside your bat, which goes right there. And then after that, whatever you get from there, you're going to divide by the ball, which is right there. So let's get to it real quick. Let's multiply 12 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 1. I'm sorry, 4 times 1 is 4. I end up with 48. This is going to be easy. This you can do in your head. What is 48 divided by 1? 48. Since I'm dividing by 1. So my answer here is 48 inches. 4 feet equals 48 inches. Let's do one more. Let's make sure we understand this. So we got 64 ounces and cups. I'm going to look for where I find my cups and ounces. There it is. 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. So this right here is going to give me my first fraction for my proportion. 1 and 8. But like I said, always label 1 cup, 8 ounces. I'm given 64 ounces for the question. So since it's talking about ounces, 64 ounces, you don't put it on top. You got to put it at the bottom. The reason why, again, is because they got to match up here. If the denominator here has an ounces, so does the other denominator. Got to make sure it's the same type of unit you're working with. Unit means gallons, quarts, pints, what you're using to measure. And right here, of course, we don't know what the top number is. So when that happens, you label it with a letter. And usually that letter is X. Or it can be any letter you want it to be. It's up to you. So, just like before, this is your bat, which you're going to multiply by, and then you're going to divide by the ball. This one's going to be pretty easy. What is 64 times 1? 64. That's easy. And then what do we do with 64? You divide it by the ball. All right, so how many times can you fit 8 into 64? All right, in case you forget, all right, use this multiplication symbol to help you understand how to divide. So 8 times what gives me 64? It's going to be 8. 8 times 8 gives me 64. And there it is. There's my answer. So that equals to 8 cups.